but this Carlee Russell case, it's got me stressed out. Hello, lovely people. Welcome to my virtual couch. Happy Friday to ya. Okay, so listen. I was going to drop a video about ADHD, but this Carlee Russell case, it's got me stressed out. So I decided to actually do a video on that instead. And the next week, I'm going to drop the interview that I did with social worker Lindsay McDaniel about ADHD. My last video, I discussed the case about Pete Davidson being recently diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and checking himself into rehab. And I discussed some of the ways that his borderline personality disorder showed up in his relationship with Kim K. So check out that last video. Now, the case of Carlee Russell. Before I jump to what's happening now, I think it might be helpful to go over her case. So Carlee Russell is a 25-year-old nursing student who reported on July 13th that she saw a toddler walking on the side of the highway, okay? And keep in mind, this was at nighttime. So let's listen to her 911 call.
Hi, I am on Interstate 459, and there is a kid just walking by themselves.
Oh, hold on. Where on 459 are you?
I'm right next to the exit 10 by the Hoover Met, like to get off by the Hoover Met.
Okay, so you're before that exit?
Yes.
Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Like toward Tuscaloosa or toward 280?
Towards Tuscaloosa.
Okay, and was the child on the left or right side?
On the right side.
Were they walking northbound or southbound?
They're walking towards Tuscaloosa.
Walking southbound? Or how old do they look?
Like a toddler, like maybe like 3 or 4.
Did you pull over with them? Are you still with them?
Yes.
Okay, are you with the child right now?
No, I'm not. I didn't get out of the car. I can see them though.
Do you mind staying and keeping an eye on them until we get there?
Yeah,
okay.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, what kind of car are you in?
I'm in a red Mercedes-Benz.
Is that a sedan or SUV?
SUV. I mean, it's a sedan. Sorry.
Can you put your hazards on for me?
Yeah, they're on.
Okay. Did you talk to the child at all, or did you say anything to them?
No.
Okay.
No.
Do they look like they're injured?
No, they don't.
Are they white, black, Hispanic, or Asian?
They're white.
Okay. Is it male or female?
I think it's a little boy.
White male? Okay. Is he wearing clothes?
Yes.
Okay. What is he wearing?
It's a white T-shirt, and it doesn't look like he has any pants on. It looks like a diaper.
And you don't see any cars anywhere?
No cars are anywhere.
Okay, so as you can see, she says she's seen a toddler walking on I-495 South. I'm not familiar with Birmingham, but I assume any highway, anything whatever is going to be a busy highway, okay? And you can even tell in the 911 call, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, that as they were asking her for descriptions, it almost seemed like she was making it up as she was talking. Anyway, she said that she pulled over to check on the child while she was on the phone with a family member, and then the family member lost contact with her and they heard her scream. So when the officers came to the scene, her vehicle was running and many of her personal belongings were inside. They did not find Russell or the child, and then there was nobody else reported a missing child during that time. There were lots of searches for Carlee, okay? Police department, community searches. She became a trending topic on social media. And so Angela Harris, whose daughter is Anaya Blanchard, at that time she was 19 years old, was unalived in 2019, also became a search leader for Carlee Russell's search team. So this is a mom whose own daughter was unalived and obviously she's been re-traumatized all over again, is helping with the search, okay? So lots of resources are being spent in this moment, okay? Parents are doing press conference, boyfriend is speaking out. Unfortunately, what happens in a situation like this is it sends the community in a panic, in a frenzy, because now the community is thinking, is there trafficking happening around the area? Is there a predator in the area? It has a trickle effect, right? And it bombards the police department, because now there's pressure on the police department to find out whoever or whatever is causing this situation, you know? And celebrities are reposting her. People are like, find her. And unfortunately, there is a disparity when a white woman or a non-Black person goes missing versus a Black person. There are lots of studies and data to support this. I'm not going to debate with anybody about this, but there is a discrepancy. Fast forward to July 19, 49 hours later, she pops up at her parents' house on barefoot, and according to the mom, she is in really bad shape, okay? The mom says she was in such bad shape that I had to stand back and let the paramedics get to her. I couldn't really hug her. Now, I watched Really Be TV, and she talked about it, and she made some very good points, which is, if your daughter showed up randomly on foot, right? How long did it take for the paramedics to get there? Because they had to have spent some time with her before the paramedics, came. So the fact that she said she was in such bad shape, I had to stand back and let the paramedics get to her. That was a little bit confusing. Okay. She shows up and she basically tells the police that she was kidnapped, and it was a man with orange hair with a bald spot. Okay. She said that she was thrown into an 18-wheeler and they fed her snacks. They took her to the hospital to be evaluated, and she was released shortly after. Now, the police, being under pressure, have to do their due diligence with research, and then they release a press conference. And what I do like about this press conference is that the police stuck to the facts. They didn't give any opinions. They didn't give any assumptions. They stuck to the facts. They said, hey, listen, we have been able to accurately track Carlee Russell's whereabouts in the last 48 hours. And they also mentioned, now keep in mind, this is an active investigation. So it's not over. And I do think things are going to come out. Things that they found on her phone that, because due to the nature of whatever they found, out of respect for the family, they have decided, and for her privacy, they have decided not to release it. Okay? So I think it's kind of interesting. Some of the searches that she made on her phone was, the day of her disappearance, she searched Taken. And the movie Taken is about being abducted. She also searched how to take money from a register without being caught. She also searched, do you have to pay for an Amber Alert? And I suspect she was searching that because she didn't want her parents to have to pay for an Amber Alert. And she also searched the maximum age for an Amber Alert. So clearly there was some premeditation. Okay. They also mentioned that they want to interview her, but the family is refusing because of her mental state. I will say the police do seem very patient. Let me say this. I do believe she has a mental health issue. Who in their right mind is going to go through these elaborate scheme to fake a disappearance? I also think, in addition to some form of depression, Carlee Russell also has some form of personality disorder. I understand people are saying, you know what, she's just dumb. She did this for attention. But if you really look at it, What is happening internally that you would go through this great lengths to seek attention? I also want to say, while I have not evaluated Carlee Russell, I would make the case that she might possibly also have Pseudologia Fantastica. What is Pseudologia Fantastica? I'm going to go on the Psychology Today website because I want to read the official definition of it. So on the Psychology website, it says that Pseudologia Fantastica is a distinct psychiatric disorder and a symptom of a personality disorder. Now, remember earlier I said that I do believe that Carlee Russell may have some sort of access to personality disorder. So the DSM-5, which is basically the book that we use to diagnose people, also says that this syndrome can be a feature of narcissistic, antisocial, and histrionic fictitious disorder. This is according to the American Psychiatric Association. Also says Pseudologia Fantastica is the patient's belief in their lives that exists halfway point between daydreaming and delusion. I do think she might have had some delusional disorder as well. It says the patient's fanciful stories are analogies to fantasy, satisfying the psychological need to enhance and maintain self-esteem. Remember earlier I said, what is happening internally that you feel like you have to go to this great lengths to seek attention? Okay, it's basically what we call a fantasy lie. Okay, Pseudologia Fantastica patients rarely admit to the psychological motives for lying, an indication that the phenomenon is unconsciously driven, which differentiates it from other non-pathological forms of lying. So it sounds like if she does have this disorder, she might never really admit to it. She's going to continue with the lie. If you can recall the case of Casey Anthony, and if you don't know it, please look it up. This was back in 2008. Her daughter, Carlee Anthony, was unalive, went through this whole story about what happened to her daughter. She even made up a fake office that she worked. She came up with a name for a nanny. She was found guilty of 4 misdemeanor counts of providing false information, but she was not found guilty of like first degree, the M word. And Casey Anthony created this whole elaborate lie, in my opinion, that ended up just took the police on this chase of nowhere. Pseudologia Fantastica. This is when individuals are presenting false stories as real, and they really, really do believe in it. She might make a case for it. I do want to say this. Having a mental health issue does not absolve you for accountability. I think she needs to be accountable for the trickle effect that she has caused, the pain and agony she's caused her family, the pain and agony she's caused the community, the emotional expense that people spent on her, okay? And unfortunately, because of the unfair disparity of when a Black person goes missing versus a non-Black person, my concern is in the event another Black person goes missing, that person will not be given the benefit of the doubt. But I will not apologize for believing a Black woman that goes missing and advocating for Black women, because I'd rather believe you first. 2 things can happen at the same time. I want to validate everyone's feelings. People have a right to feel angry, hurt, frustrated, whatever you feel. You can still feel angry and still say, why did this person do this? Yes, they were being stupid. Yes, they were making a dumb decision. But I do believe there's more to the situation. And I do believe that things are going to be coming out. I also think it's very interesting that when the parents had the press conference, the mom did most of the talking. If you watch the dad, he let the wife lead. He barely said much. So it makes me curious about the dynamic of the family. And I'm also curious about the relationship between Carlee and her mother, because the mother and the daughter relationship can be complex. She's also a nursing student, and I suspect that Again, these are all assumptions, I just want to say, because the details have not come out. Perhaps she was facing a lot of pressures. We don't know what kind of pressures, but she also has a boyfriend, the relationship with her mom. I do believe there are some things that are going on with her that made her act out of an act of desperation. Let me say this. Do I think criminal charges should be filed? Yes, simply because she made a false report. I want to talk about the case of Sherry Papini. In 2016, she faked her own kidnapping in a hoax, okay? And it was exposed with the help of DNA. She was sentenced to 1.5 years in prison, okay? So she served 18 months followed by a 36 months of supervised release. Here is my advice for Carlee Russell. Carlee Russell, the number one thing that you need to do is you need to release a statement, okay? Lots of people, and again, these are all assumptions because guess what? We don't know right now that she's undergone a psych evaluation. And if she has and it becomes public, then I will come back. Whew. This is a lot. As a Black woman, I took this personal because for me, the first thing I thought about, especially now that I'm a mother, the first thing I thought about is, oh my God, that poor baby, somebody's using this child as bait. So immediately I became concerned. And then my second concern was, oh my goodness, they've used this child as bait and now this woman has gone missing for trying to be a good Samaritan. So listen, I was with everybody. I believed her from the very beginning. I'm always going to believe it from the very beginning because I think it's more dangerous not to. I think it is important to discuss the statistics of trafficking in the United States. In 2021, 16,710 victims were involved in trafficking cases. Let me say this again. 16,710 victims were involved in trafficking cases in the United States. This is still a problem in a first world country. Carlee Russell should not stop us from still advocating for potential victims. It's not fair to the victims that are out there. Put their lives on hold to help you. I wasn't one of them. But lots of people put their lives on hold. Lots of people emotionally connected with this story. Black people were finally feeling like, yes, we are getting the national attention for a missing Black woman, okay? So Carlee Russell, number one, you need to release a statement. Just admit and say, you know what? I lied, take accountability, apologize, right? And say, whatever money that I got from this situation, I'm going to give it back. To change your name, okay? Change your name. You are 25 years old and you made an egregious mistake. But I don't think that this should prevent you from having a full, fulfilling life. Use this as a way to change you for the better. So I think you need to change your name because unfortunately you probably will never get a job. You probably will never get opportunities. If you have the resources, move. Because I'm not familiar with Hoover, Alabama, but it seems like it's a small town. So move, start over, okay? And get yourself a really good trauma therapist. And if you have to deal with criminal, legal issues, deal with them. I think you are 25 years old. I don't think your life is over. I think it's going to be difficult, but I don't think it's over. I think, Carlee Russell, you need to go above and beyond and prove yourself to the community that you're worth giving a damn about. Because right now, people are ready to cancel you and wash you away. So, until next time. Oh, you guys have 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. Listen, I'm going to celebrate 100 subscribers like I'm going to celebrate 1,000 subscribers, okay? Because I've been doing this YouTube thing for like a month and already I'm at 100 subscribers. And look, it is not easy to get subscribers. So thank you so much. Please subscribe. Listen, y'all might come for me in the comments, but that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. Like, look, as a clinician, my brain always goes to giving grace first. That's just how I'm wired, okay? But giving grace doesn't make me naive. I just give grace first. So the clinician in me is asking a lot of why and what was her mental state and what this woman was going through. So anyway, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.